is evidence of a P user.
Now it's just a question of how much meth, or P, has been smoked in the house.
It's been used.
Yeah, it has been used. Look at this. We will have to get somebody to look at that because that could be quite dangerous. If this turns out to be a P house, or, you know, contaminated, I would not put a child in that chair.
Here's a bulb. It's probably a backup bulb.
As well as forking out for a meth test, the landlord's also up for the removal of all the leftover items.
Look at this. They just walk out and leave this stuff behind.
The cost of repairs.
Look at the state of this door, would you? Look at this. She hasn't told us about that.
And the cleaning bill.
There's remnants of dope in here and a child's nappy. They make me mad.
Yeah, always had to pull her up on cleaning. Very, very aggro about it.
Yeah, we were all the effing what's-the-names under the sun, but anyway.
Then there's the rest of the property to consider.
And the rubbish under here, look at it. Bloody pigs.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Car parts, kids' toys, microwave. It's all the tenant stuff that obviously doesn't go anymore and they just turf it under the house.
Oh, God. The garden area's a jungle.
As the old saying goes, you can't garden with a mop, so landscapers will need to be called in as well.
We have to do all sorts of things.
It's time to have a look in the garage.
Well, come and look at this piece de resistance, if you can get in.
There might be an art to getting through the door, but the exhibit inside isn't to Judy's tastes.
So, yes, this is a real quandary, this one.
I mean, if they don't come and claim it, what do we do with it?
Take it to a scrap metal dealer, I suppose.
There's a lot to be done before this place can be rented out again. Judy will take a case to the Tenancy Tribunal to try and recover the costs from the tenant who abandoned it to rust.
What we have to wait for now is a P test before we can go in and do all the cleaning, and once we've done all that, hopefully we can get relet ASAP and a nice new tenant in it.
Hi there, Amy. I'm emailing you as we've had a bit of a code red. We were having drinks for the Highlanders game at the flat on Saturday, and as a result, somehow, at some point, ended up with 2 different holes in our walls.
Amy springs into action.
How are we?
I'm good, how are you?
Not too bad.
So where are these holes?
But while tenants, not to mention music tastes, may change,
You've always got to have your One Direction posters up right by the fridge.
the song remains the same.
So they're underneath there?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
And this current boy band may be badder than they look.
There's a little bit of the hole there. It just goes up a little bit more.
Oh, they're big.
Judy Morgan has been hired by a property owner to help sort out an abandoned and possibly meth-contaminated property.
That is evidence of a P user.
Sadly, but unsurprisingly, a meth test brought back a positive result, with readings in the bathroom and garage high enough to require decontamination. Now a second test has come back clean, Judy's almost ready to welcome a new tenant onto the premises. The empty house is a far cry from the den of despair Janet and Judy first laid eyes on. Surfaces have been cleaned and polished, and the spectre of drug abuse banished.
This room here was the one that had the highest degree of contamination, but as I said, we've had it cleaned and it's come back down under the Ministry of Health guidelines. And this is the garage that was contaminated. That had quite a high reading as well.
Like the bathroom, the garage is now meth-free, and it's kicked the junk as well.
There was a vehicle in here that had tyres missing. There was just a whole heap of car crap stuff around. We managed to find out who owned it, and we had to wait a couple of weeks before they got their act together to come and remove it. It was just hideous, wasn't it?
The costs of rehabilitating the property have so far reached close to a few $1,000s. But Judy is determined to try and win back at least some of that money in court from the previous tenant.
I'd like to see a public register for people who contaminate houses, and I believe that's a must. Meth has a huge impact on many, many people. This has been a nightmare for us as property managers. Clearly it's a nightmare for the owner because of the cost, which can go into thousands. Loss of rent, all sorts of things. So it's not an easy fix.
And with Judy now looking after the property, she'll be making sure the owner doesn't have to go through it all ever again.
And we have a tenant waiting to sign up and waiting to move in. So, and he would appear to be a really good tenant. So hopefully we won't have any more problems at this property.
All right, so here we are.
Jane is here to inspect the property and check for damage. And the tenant and her flatmates appear to be in the process of moving out, which is good news for Jane.
Yeah, so this tenant's actually packing to move anyway, so we'd expect a few things out. So, a few dishes, but it's not the worst I've seen, I suppose.
Luckily, any damage to the house is mostly minimal.
Looks like she's had candles on the windowsill, never a good idea. Oh, looks a bit dodgy. Chipboard around the bath, probably not the best idea.
But there's something else bothering Jane, a smoky bouquet she can't quite place.
Not the best, but
But once she's got the scent, Jane soon tracks down its source.
there is a distinct fragrance emanating from this room.
Although she can't be sure, Jane suspects this makeshift funnel may have been used for something dodgy sometime recently.
No, urinal maybe? The tenancy agreement has one person on it, and the tenant in this particular property has flatmates. She is on the tenancy agreement and she is responsible.
She's also responsible for whatever's going on in the locked room under the house. And now Jane's about to find out what the tenants didn't want the landlord to see.
Wow.
So where are these holes?
Amy Marsh from Cutler's Property Management is attending the unveiling of the latest work by a group of Otago University students.
One direction. It's a little bit of the hole there. It just goes up a little bit more.
Oh, they're big. They're quite large, aren't they?
Yeah.
So what actually happened?
Come down this way and see these two big holes in there. No one was thrown up.
No one wants to own up to the new work of art in the hallway either.
So this looks like a big poster, which tells me that there's a huge hole under here. It's not as bad as the other one, which is good.
Looks like someone's bounced off the ropes and smoked their head into there.
It's kind of at your level.
That's perfect.
It's good that you guys have put posters up.
Yeah.
Because obviously we don't want to get any more.
As the property manager's Holy Bible states, holes in walls beget more holes in walls. They need to be fixed sooner rather than later, so Amy calls a flat meeting.
Do you guys want to fix it, or do you want to get me to fix it and I can send you guys the bill, or like how do you want to roll this?
Probably the best way, just we fix it ourselves, put a bit of effort into it.
Yeah.
Try to save a bit of money.
The only thing is it'll have to be well done.
Basically, we've got a rabbit hutch builder, we've got a guy whose dad is a builder.
The boys sound confident in their building abilities, but Amy can't help but feel slightly dubious.
Is this the rabbit hutch?
Yep, that's the rabbit hutch.
But despite reservations that their home maintenance credentials may be all fur coat and no knickers,
There's just a few undies on there.
Yeah, it was windy.
It was windy. It was windy, actually.
Amy agrees to let the boys handle this themselves.
All right, see you guys. Well, have a good weekend. No more holes in the walls, eh?
Take care.
All right, see ya. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, they've owned up to putting the holes in the walls. Yeah, one of their dads is actually a builder, so I don't think they will do it. I think they'll call upon Dad to fix the walls. They're pretty good guys. They haven't done anything wrong so far. They've just had a little bit of a slip-up, so yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, we'll just get it fixed and just carry on. So, no, it's good.
Jane Allred from Summit Property Management has given 90 days notice to a bunch of yahoos. When the property owner paid a recent visit, his suspicions were aroused by a locked room under the house that he was unable to gain access to. But Jane has a key. So far, so innocent.
Oh, look at that. So pretty.
But then,
What's that? a hose, a bag of dirt.
Evidence that points to an indoor grow room.
We'll get these people out and we'll get someone else in. Okay. That was interesting. Clearly, between the owner's last inspection and notice to the tenants that we were involved, whatever was downstairs has been removed, which is good for the owner. I'm actually quite relieved that we have actually sent them a 90-day notice now. So they'll be out there looking for another property, so just beware, private landlords.